Thanks to the collective of gentlemen that put this whole thing together. I really appreciate y'all having me out here. Me and the boys were in St. Louis last night, so it was a very easy drive over here. I sent them back with the bus this morning, but I rented a car, and I'm getting to explore most of southern central Illinois for the next 3 days. I'm very excited about it. Thank y'all so much for having me in your backyard. Let me play some songs for you and your friends. This was a request. I usually don't do too many of these, but it's off the new record, so I'll let it slide. I wrote this song at my grandmother's 91st birthday. My grandma lived to be 93 years old. At her 91st birthday, I noticed that she was sitting in the corner. She had like a little piece of cake sitting by herself. My grandmother was one of those stubborn women. She told it like it was. She didn't care. Her kids always told her, like, you need to be nicer when people are around. And she's like, I don't give a shit. I've lived long enough to where I think you live long enough to where you hit a certain age where you don't have to be nice to people anymore. And my grandmother was well past that when she hit 90. But at 91, she was sitting in the corner. And I remember she was always my favorite because she always just was a straight shooter. She always said the funniest things. And I went up to her. I was like, Nanny. Her name was Nanny. We called her Nanny. I was like, Nanny. I was like, what's wrong? I was like, you don't look like you're having any fun. She's like, this sucks, BJ. I said, what do you mean, like the birthday party or turning 91? And she's like, turning 91. She's like, everybody wants to celebrate it like I've done something special. She's like, this sucks. She's like, every single person that I knew growing up is gone. The love of my life is gone. I've watched children die. I've watched every neighbor I've ever had, every teacher I've ever had is gone. She's like, it's lonely. She's like, I'm very thankful I got to know my grandkids. She got 37 years with me. She's like, I'm glad I got all that time with you. I'm glad I got to meet your kids. You know, my daughter is named after this woman. My grandmother's name was Pearline, and my daughter's name is Pearl. She's like, I got to live long enough for a third generation to be named after me. She's like, that's pretty cool, but it sucks getting older. And I never looked at it that way until she pointed out the price that we have to pay to get old is saying goodbye to so many different people. And so I wrote this song because of that conversation I had with her after she passed. And this is a song called The Curse of Growing Old. I watched my father put his father in the ground without a single solitary tear falling down. On the car ride home, I remember asking why. Said, a simple son, you're born, you live a little, then you die. And crying ain't gonna bring them back, it's just a waste of time. My grandmother made it all the way to 93. Saw countless war, electric cars, and colored TV. But then I start to think about all the family and friends she lost and how lonely it must have been there in the end. That's one race to the finish. I bet no one wants to win. You see, the curse of growing old is watching everything you love and know bloom, die, and fade away. And the only thing more terrifying than coming face to face with dying is learning there's a price we all must pay for another day. So the only time I ever saw my father cry, Daytona, '01, the day that Senior died. It's safe to say that was the day that he finally saw no star burns forever, eventually they must fall. Raise hell, praise Dale, death's coming for us all. Because the curse of growing old is watching everything you love and know bloom, die, and fade away. And the only thing more terrifying than coming face to face with dying is learning there's a price we all must pay for another day. That price is change, unavoidable change. Thank y'all so much.